In this video, I will try to answer two questions that people often ask me, either on the internet or via private message. People ask me how to do automation and how to turn automation into a business or a job. So you know that every company today needs to automate to save time and increase productivity. And today, everyone wants to learn this technology or wants to use it. So the question that is often asked is, Dr. Ferras, how do you sell workflows? Or how do you create a business and simply generate income from this business? So, in this video, I will explain to you step by step. If you are interested in automation and want it to be your field, your job, whether you are a beginner or an expert, I have actually tried to create a whole detailed plan for free that I will share with you. You will also find this PDF attached in the description. I will show you how to create automations either on N8N or on Make. But the most important thing is how you find clients. That's what's very difficult. But today, there are marketplaces. I will show you a demonstration from A to Z, from creating an account on this marketplace to handling clients and payment. I will show you my tips and how I managed to do it. About 30 sales in 30 days. So, the second question that is often asked, if I am a company or even an individual, I am looking for an expert to help me either create my own workflow or to correct a workflow or to assist or train me so that I can simply take action. I don't have much time actually, and I don't want to sell the workflow. I just want to use it, but I want to be accompanied. And here I will obviously show you step by step how you can get in touch with people or experts so they can coach you or create for you. Quite simply, the workflow from A to Z. So stay until the end of the video. Today I will show you everything from A to Z, how to enter the business of creating automation, workflows, scenarios, and especially how to get your first client. Stay until the end. Everything that will be offered today is 100% free. So let's get started. We will start with how to become a person who sells this service, who creates automations for other people or for other companies. So you should know that we have 3 steps. The first step, of course, is to get trained. If you are already an expert, if you have already created several workflows, then surely you can move on to the second phase. But here, the first phase, for you to try to get trained, you will see that today this field is what we call no code. This means that it doesn't require you to be a developer. You simply need to be someone who is passionate about this field, about artificial intelligence, who is curious, and of course, has a certain discipline to follow training and watch videos. Second phase, once we have the skills, and I will of course give you more details on the first phase, once we have the skills, I will show you how to register and we will publish our service or our offer. And third, of course, once we have simply done it, the creation of this offer on this platform, ExpertEase or Ye, is a platform where we will meet these clients, where we will sell the service, and especially here, in fact, I will show you tips so that I can also attract clients to this platform. So now we are going to talk about the training phase, which is of course a very important phase for us to be able to offer a service. It's normal, we must master it and master it perfectly. So the training, you will see that today, in fact, you can simply take practical courses on N8N and eMake. Today, these are, let's say, the 2 most well-known tools in the market that it offers. So there you have the automations. Quite simply, if you go to the Make website, you will find here that there is simply Make Academy. You just need to register for free and you will see that you will receive a certification issued by Make that you can share on LinkedIn. It's truly a certification with beginner, intermediate, and expert levels. So you have no reason to say, oh, I don't have the means to learn automation. Also, don't forget that with N8N especially, there is a lot of free content on YouTube. People share workflows and explain from A to Z how to create them. I am one of the people who share creation for free, and there are many people like me. And there are even courses that you can find on Coursera, on Udemy as well, which are, so just a few dollars allow you to have courses of 5 hours, 6 hours, even 10 hours from beginner to expert. I can even give you one if you leave a comment. Training. So I will simply provide you with a direct link to these courses with coupons. So today, the courses and the availability of information are very important. It is especially available on networks like YouTube or on learning platforms. Now, another very important thing, be careful. You really need to practice. The fact of actually reproducing automations, starting with simple ones. You will see it will give you the insights to know and understand how it works. So therefore, you need to practice afterwards. And also you have the possibility to download workflows from what we call marketplaces that provide ready-to-use workflows. You can download them and then test them as very simple examples. Here I am on the official N8M website. I click there. There's a template section, and there you will find more than 1,600 templates of all kinds. And it's a place where, let's say 99% of them are free. You just need to click, select the template that interests you, look at the template, click, and you will see. The person who will share, as you can see there, it's free. They provide you with the entire system and give you a description and especially a user manual. So as a result, what do you need to do? You simply download it and use it. And that way you will become an expert in it. And that's very important. So consequently, this phase is an initial phase that is mandatory. Once you have completed this phase and succeeded in it, you will see there at that moment, you can move on to the stage where you will prepare the offer and actually provide the services so that you can simply implement them. There we are. So the second part is also very important. It's about knowing what we are going to offer in this field. What exactly are the market demands? Well, we can actually say that there are 4 demands. First, there are people looking for strategic advice. What can we automate? That means I am a company, I have processes, you see, I have routine tasks, I have several assistants working to handle quotes, manage the schedule. There are a lot of tasks, but I don't know where to start. What can I automate and what can I gain? So, at a certain point, when you have created some workflows, you have copied, you have somewhat manipulated this area, you will see that every time someone proposes to you, talks to you about their business, you will tell them, be careful. This part, I can automate it for you. It will save you time and money, because an automated system means it will work 24/7. With the emergence of AI agents and everything, you will see with these tools, instead of letting the person do a repetitive task, we can free this person so they can do another task, or just supervise and let the machine handle it automatically. And generally you will have, and that we can say, in fact, 80% of the consultations I receive are from people, companies that want to automate, but they don't see it clearly. They don't actually have a business model. They don't have the specifications, so they ask me how or what they can automate. So as a result, for you, it doesn't require technical expertise, but much more expertise, where you know what can be done and whether it's applicable or not, how long it will take to accomplish it. And you actually have the feasibility in your mind. Second part, and that too, it's very, very important, it's coaching. That means I generally suggest it for people who are starting to enter this field. As a result, he has a workflow, but he can't get it to run. So he needs to show me his scenario so I can tell him, be careful here, you need to split it into 2 because it's going to be very heavy. Or you can't use that technology, use the other one. As a result, it helps a lot, especially beginners who have started to get the hang of automation. And then there are sometimes people who come and know exactly what they want. He has his specifications and asks you to create a customized workflow for real cases. And there you also have the construction of an offer. Sometimes you can provide a comprehensive offer, and that too is in high demand by companies. There are companies that ask me not only to create their workflow. They tell me, okay, thank you for doing it, but also we would like to train, or I would like you to be at the company to provide XTK support to our developers, to our advisors on how to implement it, how to maintain it, how to adapt it, how to use it. And that is very interesting and quite amusing. Today, even decision makers or CEOs, the bosses, always want to attend this kind of meeting because they are curious to see a little bit of AI, how it works, how it operates. And that is very important. So you see today, in terms of the service you can offer, we can look into it and we will see that we can offer something light, something a bit more advanced, and something more comprehensive. So regardless of your level in automation, you can enter the market and start offering But be careful, the training phase is very important. Once it's done, then I can offer the service. And that's what everyone is looking for today. So the solution, the third step, and this is very important. It's simply where I gather the source of my traffic, and that's my support to launch these services. Today, ExpertEase is the solution. I will now show you a complete demonstration from A to Z, how I create an account inside and how everything works. I can simply create and acquire clients directly on this platform in a very straightforward way. Well, so now we will simply download the application that will allow us to connect and network between experts and participants or users who are looking for experts. Today, I will show how I use the ExpertEase application. So here, once you are on the website, I will obviously provide you with access to this site and also the link to simply download the application here on the App Store or Google Play Store. So this is an application created in France and, of course, it is international. This means that anyone from almost anywhere in the world can access the application since it is multilingual, and it primarily focuses on bringing in qualified experts. Because when you submit your file, or your application, or simply your profile, you will see that it will first be reviewed to give you the right advice so that it is well positioned and subsequently approved. You will simply have access to your profile to accept offers and business. So now what you will do is simply download the application, and I will show you step by step how I create my account and how I register myself in this application. Alright, so now I will open the application with you. So in real time, I will operate it and you will see how to use this application. So the first thing, when I open the application, it will automatically detect your country. And so the language and the currency are actually adapted according to your geolocation. So the first thing to do is simply to go here to account and then to account. I will simply need to create my account. You will see that, for example, for me, I already have the account connected. If I refresh here, I find my account, I find user reviews, and I can activate to see the preview of my account, how people will see me. I can, of course, see the payments here. I can add personal information, and especially here, these are banking details. And you will see, I have a whole settings area where I will simply add the languages I use in my training, my availability. And you have here a complete tutorial that shows you how to use the system and the most frequently asked questions. And especially, in fact, there is the contact, So in the contact, it's very easy. So anyone who needs assistance or needs a demonstration or even wants help creating their profile, it's very interesting. That's what I liked about this application. You can get in touch with them. They will simply book you a demonstration, assistance for account creation, and referencing. So, I insist a lot on referencing because when you create your account, you need to know how to set it up properly. The keywords, the most searched keywords. Because their algorithm actually relies on your description. The better you provide a rich description with the maximum amount of information, the more you will be referenced. And that's what we're going to see now in the profile overview section. All right, let's get started. So we're going to go to the section. Profile. Here you need to be careful with the steps of using the marketplace. Here I emphasize a very important part, of course, the creation of a seller account. And you will see that here, the presentation video. And include a presentation video because the system is actually based on what we call a quick system, a contact system. So therefore, a description and a video that present your product, that's the key. So here, I'm going to click here to show a little preview of my profile. Now you will see that here, it's very important to display your photo. This is important. It builds trust with the users. And you will see that here, automatically, I have my availability. I show here that I am available. I will, of course, set the days and times where I can respond to people or schedule appointments. And you will see that, obviously, the concept here. In this system, it sells consulting hours. That means for me, I will set the price of my hour. It starts from €5 up to €99. You as an expert will be paid 100%. That means the company will not take a commission or reduce your fees. That means when I set 99 euros, I will receive 100% of my 99 euros for the consulting hour. And here, this is very important. This is where I need to invest as much as possible. In fact, the keywords that interest me. When you see it there, I aid in myself, and I actually explain to people. In fact, here's what I do. So I help people boost their business by finding solutions related to their project. So as a result, I have perfectly explained what I do. So there you go. You need to write a complete paragraph, not too long. Be careful. A complete paragraph. I use analogies a little bit to highlight some important points. And if I say 100 here a little bit, you will see that I have added a video there. And that's it. It's very, very important. That means you will simply host a video here if you want on YouTube or on Vimeo. And that video, it's a video. I made it for a duration of 3 minutes where I introduce myself. And I obviously try to explain to people, here are my expertise, my skills, my strengths, my background, and why they should call me. What added value will I provide? So really this part where I actually show this video, there are sometimes some people who don't include a video. So as a result, in some way, they are penalized. Why? Because a user, when they find 5 experts, will try a little bit before making an appointment to see a little bit what this expert is capable of doing. Does he have good pedagogy? Does he express himself well? So as a result, when I enter and see that there is a video of this person, it actually helps to convert. And as you know, so that's a little bit. According to my experience on several e-learning platforms, when I put a free introductory video in all my courses, then obviously the conversion rate is x5 because people will never buy something without making contact. But the first contact with a video is very, very important. Afterwards, I included my area of expertise. The area of expertise is very important because I selected artificial intelligence. You can add one or more areas. There is not just one single area. Because if you do consulting and you are able to help people manage their stress, I cannot be in just one category. I can also add several. And here, what is very interesting here, I show a little bit the languages that I master. That means that here, I mentioned here, that I can simply have a call, boom, with a person who speaks 100% English. So obviously, I must have a very, very good level in English. The same thing here in French, the same thing here in Dutch. So obviously, you can add several other languages. And here, the number of languages, so obviously, if you actually speak 5 languages, it will be better. On the contrary, you will have even more visibility. So this is the part, profit. As you can see, it's a really simple part. That means here, it's not too complicated. We are not going to put multiple services and all. No. We enter, it's really a very simplified thing, and I simply put my expertise here and position myself in a few categories. That's all. And then it's their algorithm and the traffic they have created to bring interested people to this application. Who will come across? Who will find your product? And that's why today everything relies on writing well. When you want, the description. And of course, I can use artificial intelligence, of course, to help me develop that. So I can include the maximum number of keywords. And of course, don't forget here, as we mentioned, the presentation video, which is a very, very important video. It's the one that will build trust in the system. So here, we will try to proceed to see a little bit how it goes. The initial contact and how I can convince the person to approve the offer. Well, so here in the system, if I go back here in my account, you will see that I simply have a section called settings. So if I enter the settings, as you can see here, I can of course set the language of the application. So be careful. This is not actually the language that you speak. No, here, in fact, we are talking about the language of the application. So as we said, it is multilingual, which is very interesting. It is secured with authentication, so double authentication. And that helps a lot because there is banking information inside. I will receive money and everything. So it's not just anyone who has my phone can access the application. And that is very, very important. And especially here, we have what we call push notifications. Why does this help me a lot to activate them? Because any person who is interested in placing an order with you, before they place the order, it happens 100% here. by call. That means there I won't need to use Google Meet or Zoom or call upon another application. No, the person, when they buy an hour, they will simply call me on the application, and the application will last for an hour. That's the concept. That means all services, all consultations, all trainings are divided by the hour. So I sell the hour. If ever the person needs multiple sessions, of course, they will book multiple slots. How do I place the order? How do I accept an order? Quite simply, that's where the person in the messaging will get in touch with me. They will ask me the question. They say, I'm interested, I have this project, I'm looking at it myself. Before, of course, they pay, they are required to have a discussion with me. And if I see that I can bring added value to them, if I see in myself that this person is my target, I can really help them at that moment. I tell them, here it is, I am available to go live with you and you can place the order. So the person, the user, your client will not pay unless they book the call. That means all the messages and discussions you can have here, which are free, mean that you are not going to do the consultation, but you will a little bit. Assure them that you can help them find this or that solution, or what they propose, the need they express. For you, it falls within your area of expertise. So once everything is fine, you will simply tell them, go ahead, place an order. As soon as they place the order, they will enter a video call directly with you. That's why I'm telling you it's very, very important to actually enable notifications. So you should know that based on my experience, users do not contact only me, especially in everything related to strategy marketing. They contact 2, 4, 5 experts, and they obviously wait for the responses. So if I am active, it's up. If I always have the phone in my hands and quickly say, oh yes, that interests me, I can help you, I have experience, or such and such skill. Well, listen, the person is convinced if they saw my video, if they saw my description, then they will move to the option, take action, and place the order. So that's why I advise you. The first thing to do is to activate email notifications and push notifications. Because it's a mobile application, so it comes out automatically. It's like, there you go, notifications from social networks. And that is important for business. So now the last settings, because everything we've seen, in fact, in the profit overview, of course, we manage it from the personal information. So you should know the personal information. If you are going to enter it for the first time, if you are simply going to change them, for example, if you have acquired new skills and everything that is based on this fact here, of course, it must be validated by the administration. And their administration is very, very active, meaning when you make an update, we're talking about a few minutes, in fact, at most, half an hour that you have found. In fact, the updates that have been checked, of course, during working hours. And what I really liked about this application is the support and the follow-up. The goal, in fact, is to create the maximum value for this application. And so, as a result, for me today, and that's the opportunity as well, since there aren't a lot of experts inside, we have a lot of requests. And so, as a result, obviously, this is a very, very good opportunity for anyone who has expertise, who has knowledge, who wants to create an account and start to get their account moving a little. Because the number of reviews is also crucial. It's somewhat the user's trust, and that's the opportunity of this application. So, as a result, when I go, we will look together at the personal information to see a little bit of the data that I can update. So here, I click on personal information, and then what do? I will, of course, upload the photo. The photo is very important. Be careful. The photo is like having a LinkedIn profile without a photo. For me personally, when I receive LinkedIn invitations without a photo, generally 99% of the time, if I don't know the person by their first and last name, I don't accept, and it's not professional. Be careful, you need to upload the photo. In addition to that, it's very important in the biography to make an introductory video. First, introduce yourself, explain who you are, and then give a little bit of your background and your skills. And afterwards, at the end, say how you can help people or what you can offer. In which field, in which expertise when you actually define the 3 axes. You will see that you will have a video that can really take off and convince people to place orders with you. And here I have the part that is very important. The rates, so the fee, of course your fees, and how much people will pay you, for example. For me, I charge 99 euros per hour, which I find fair, considering the expertise and skills I provide. You can start at €5, of course. It all depends on what you offer. And afterwards, of course, depending on experience, the number of stars and seniority, you can increase your rates. And that's why here we have a section for expertise, the languages you can speak, your availability, and of course, your banking details. If I take, for example, the case of expertise, you will see that here you can actually check the fields where you can intervene, for example. For me, if I want to add courses somewhere here in the courses section, it will ask me to choose the only category. If I say, for example, regarding courses, I can give a course. All right, let's say programming. There you go. I'll check that. I'm strong in programming, so I can keep it. After that, it all depends on your field. The selection that is here is not the final selection. They calculate according to the number of market demands. The more demand there is, the more new categories will appear here. Of course, if you have specific skills related to a single category, that is very important to you, and you have a community, you can certainly, in the contacts, ask them to add that category for you. But here, the categories that are present are studied according to the market and the market's needs. And finally, I have the option here to state which languages I am proficient in. So as you can see, there are practically all the languages of the world. As I told you, it's an international application. So here you will choose the language in which you can offer your product. And then the system will simply update it. And that's it. So here, the application, in fact, what interested me greatly, it's not complex, meaning that I just come, put my description, add my expertise, upload my video, and leave it. The game. Let the system work. For me, it works for me. And so, what would I have to do? I would need to, this is very, very important. I would need to actually share this link, because for each profile, you have your own link that you can place. In fact, there you go on your profiles. And here I will show you exactly how to retrieve your link. So in my profile, of course, here I am on the account section. I will click on the overview of my profile and you will see that here I have this button, which is the share button. So when I actually click on this button, what will it give me? It will give me the direct link to my profile. So why is it very interesting to share it? First, if someone enters and actually buys the service from me, they have a certain guarantee because that person will not pay me directly. So the money will first actually go through the system, and on top of that, it will give them the chance, in fact, to communicate with me without me having to send them my WhatsApp or my email address. And that is very interesting. And on top of that, I will receive the commission at 100%, meaning I won't have to. In fact, these are commissions that will be reduced for the application. The last thing, which is very important, don't forget that all this happens here. With this call system, which is really a very, very advanced, it allows for ease with the person. The person gets in touch with you. In the message, you talk, he agrees, you can tell him, go ahead, place the order, I'm here to help you, to coach you. If he tells you, listen, I want to sit down, do it tomorrow at 10 a.m. Okay, we do it tomorrow at 10 a.m., tomorrow at 10 a.m. The person won't delay. He will delay at the moment he places the order. So when he enters, he places the order, and boom, you will automatically receive the system. So bringing your business here, that means if I make a video, if I simply have a LinkedIn profile, and below the profile, I will put the schedule an appointment with me button, I will link it directly to the profile account. When the user clicks on your link, if they have the app will automatically open. If they don't have the app, then they will be automatically redirected to the link to download the app. So there you go. It's quite easy. It's quite simple to do. And it happens very, very quickly. So the more traffic you have, the more clients you have, the more you earn. Now, we are going to talk about the second part, which is a very important part. Attention. Today, there are a lot of people sending me messages telling me, listen, I need to automate. Please, how do I do it? Can we do it with you? Can we learn to do it ourselves? So there are always these questions. The solution first will be based on two pieces of information. There is already a whole part we call identification of needs. Because sometimes the company, it actually has a need for automation, but it can't rephrase it or know whether it is feasible or not, how much it will cost, the duration of the implementation. If I am going to automate, will I need someone on site to do it? Or will the person who was previously doing the task manually be the one to control the updates? How does it work? They don't really have a clear idea. There is also the part, of course, here when I go into in the detection of the need. So that there, what am I looking for? I might be looking for strategic coaching. I might be looking for personalized training because I want to do it myself, or I want to find someone who will help me do it. The reduction of the specifications. Or I simply need technical assistance. I start creating a workflow, I have display errors, I have connection issues, I can't connect the nodes. So as a result, I would need someone to help me with that. Where can I find all these people? On this marketplace? I can obviously discuss. That's what's important too, to discuss to see if they are capable of doing it or not. Of course, I can create a client account because when I mark a selection of experts as favorites, I can review them at any time. It's important to see the entire history with them. I can then schedule the video call. If the expert has convinced me, I can also take notes and record all the knowledge. And now I will show you directly here on the application. So here, it's as if I'm going to play the role of the person who is searching. So as a result, you will see, if I refer to it, you will see that there is simply the section, Explore. By the way, when you install the application for the first time, we're in that section. And in that section, what do I have? I simply have the different categories. That is to say, if I enter, of course, into a category, we will take mine. For example, here in the field of artificial intelligence, I will find simply a selection of several experts. And there I can select by language. For example, if I'm only interested in speaking English, I select it. So it will give me that version. If I want to consider fees, according to my budget, I don't want someone expensive, so I can select that. There too, availability. That is to say, for example, I am only available in the evening. There's no point in discussing with an expert who isn't available in the evening. And there, I can even select by country. That too is very important. And so as you can see here, I can add to favorites. So if I have discussions, I can add it to favorites. And that is very, very, very interesting. I can see according to the number of stars. And so this system is one that will help me improve and move forward. The more experts there are, of course, the more chances I will have, obviously, to discuss with several, to choose the best or the person who will give me the best consultation and the best result. Of course, don't forget that in terms of automation generally, we are not only looking for the technical part. There will be a lot of other subcategories, let's say like marketing strategy, decision-making, business, entrepreneurship. I want to get into this business, but I'm really looking, for example, for someone who will help me find the right software or the right way to launch my company. And so that's where I can simply refer to experts. So if I summarize this application, it's a multi-channel application, let's say, because it helps me position myself as an expert, and it also helps me be in the position of someone seeking expertise. In fact, for me personally, I am involved with both aspects. I am an expert who offers, and I am always on the lookout for skills in relation to people who will help me either to automate processes or to have assistants working remotely, to handle a lot of data for me, and of course to set up people who can help me solve certain issues. So as a result, this is the application I am offering you. And this is somewhat where I make my living today, in automation and in selling workflows. There you go. I hope you enjoyed the video and found my sales strategy and communication strategy useful. There is also interesting educational information for what we call networking. So here in the application, what they do is what we call networking sessions. This is a bit for all the people who are experts, who have an expert account, who have started, who already have experience. They meet in a private group. Of course, it is open to all experts. Upon registration, free of charge, twice a day, every Wednesday. So it's every Wednesday, once in the morning and once in the afternoon. I had the honor actually to attend some meetings, and I find, in fact, that it is very, very interesting. There are moderators, there are people who share, in fact, their experience, others, in fact, who comment and who try, of course, to facilitate this exchange. Most of the speakers, in fact, are in English because it is also an application today that is opening up internationally. So it's for people who are interested. A little bit to meet the experts, to give advice, to receive advice among experts. Since it's a bit of a community, it will be very interesting to try, to see, and to register for these events. So I thank you very much. I hope you are interested in asking me questions in the description. I answer everyone. Any question, I am here to help you, especially to boost and start selling. Thank you.